For centuries, Ireland was one of the poorest countries in Europe. But today, it's richer than Switzerland, Qatar, and Kuwait. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the twist: 70% of young people want to leave. Skyrocketing rents, a healthcare system in crisis, and an economy that might be a ticking time bomb. So, how did Ireland go from rags to riches? And why are so many struggling to stay? Let's dive in. Before we break down the truth about Ireland's economy, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out. And if you love deep dives into global economic stories, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. All right, let's get into it. Ireland's rise, the Celtic Tiger and Phoenix. Just a few decades ago, Ireland was barely scraping by. It was a struggling agrarian economy with high unemployment, mass emigration, and little hope for a prosperous future. But then, everything changed. The turning point? The European Union. Ireland joined the EU in 1973, gaining access to crucial funding and trade opportunities. But the real masterstroke came in the late 1980s when the government made a bold move, slashing corporate taxes to just 12.5%. This wasn't just a small policy shift, it was a game changer. Global corporations took notice, and soon, Ireland became the go-to destination for the world's biggest tech companies. Microsoft, Dell, Google, Apple, one by one, they set up their European headquarters in Dublin. Billions of dollars flowed in, jobs skyrocketed, and Ireland transformed into a modern economy almost overnight. This period became known as the Celtic Tiger era, an unprecedented economic boom that saw wages rise, infrastructure improve, and living standards soar. For the first time in history, young Irish people weren't leaving their country for opportunities elsewhere, they were staying, and Ireland was thriving. But then came 2008. The global financial crash sent shockwaves through the world, and Ireland was one of the hardest hit nations. The banking system collapsed, unemployment surged, and the Celtic Tiger seemed dead. Yet, instead of crumbling, Ireland doubled down on its biggest advantage, its tax policies. The country embraced its status as a tax haven, attracting even more corporate giants, and against all odds, the economy roared back to life. On paper, Ireland had pulled off a miracle. Its GDP surged, foreign investment kept flowing, and the country looked richer than ever. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. The new economic model didn't benefit everyone equally. The cost of living skyrocketed, housing became unaffordable, and public services struggled to keep up. Many Irish citizens found themselves unable to enjoy the prosperity their country was supposedly experiencing. It begged the question, was Ireland truly an economic success? Or was it just a house of cards waiting to collapse? The hidden problems beneath the surface. On paper, Ireland is thriving, but let's look closer. If it's so rich, why is life getting harder for the average Irish citizen? First, the housing crisis. Imagine this. You're a young professional in Dublin, earning a decent salary, but when it comes to finding a place to live, it feels impossible. There are only about 850 rental properties available in a country of over 5 million. That's less than one rental per 6,000 people. Rent prices have doubled in the past decade, with an average one-bedroom apartment now costing over €2,000 a month in Dublin. People are lining up just to view a tiny, overpriced apartment. Some are even forced to live in their cars or return to their parents' homes well into their 30s. And buying a home? Completely out of reach for most, with housing prices soaring far beyond the reach of the average salary. Then there's the public service meltdown. Despite Ireland's massive tax revenues, hospitals are overflowing and wait times for essential medical treatments can stretch for months or even years. The problem is so bad that many doctors are leaving Ireland altogether, moving to countries like Australia and Canada for better working conditions and higher pay. That leaves fewer doctors, longer wait times, and an overburdened healthcare system. And it's not just healthcare. Public infrastructure is crumbling. Roads are in disrepair, major transport projects keep getting delayed, and public transportation is stretched beyond capacity. The country is collecting billions in corporate taxes, yet many citizens ask, where is all that money going? For a country that looks so wealthy on paper, why are so many Irish people struggling just to get by? The answer lies in what economists call leprechaun economics, a system where the numbers look impressive, but the real benefits never trickle down to ordinary people. And that illusion of wealth is what we need to break down next. The illusion of wealth. Here's where it gets wild. On paper, Ireland's GDP per capita is one of the highest in the world, higher than the US, Japan, even Norway. But it's a mirage. Most of that wealth, it's not actually Irish. This is what economists call leprechaun economics. Multinational corporations, big tech, pharma, and finance funnel billions through Ireland to take advantage of its low corporate tax rate. That money technically counts as part of Ireland's GDP, but the profits don't stay here. They flow right back to corporate headquarters in the US and other countries. What's left for the average Irish citizen? Not much. Let's break it down. In reality, wages in Ireland are similar to those in Belgium or the Netherlands, despite having a GDP double their size. But when it comes to actual disposable income, the money people have left after taxes and essential expenses, Ireland is below the EU average. And here's the kicker. While foreign tech workers in Dublin enjoy six-figure salaries, the majority of Irish workers, teachers, nurses, retail employees, struggle to keep up with the soaring cost of living. The price of groceries, rent, and basic services continues to climb, but wages haven't kept pace. Many people feel like they're working harder just to stay afloat. The result? A growing two-tier economy. There's a sharp divide between the high-paid international workforce and the everyday Irish citizen. It's no surprise that over 70% of young people now say they want to leave the country, seeking better opportunities abroad. So, is Ireland's economic miracle really as strong as it seems? Or is it built on a foundation that could collapse if the world stops playing by its rules? That's where things get even more concerning. The looming crash? And here's the big question. What happens next? Ireland's success hinges on being a tax haven, but the world is cracking down. The US and EU are pushing for global corporate tax reforms. If companies like Apple and Google lose their tax incentives, will they stay? A global tax crackdown. For years, Ireland has thrived by offering some of the lowest corporate tax rates in the world. But now, under international pressure, it has agreed to raise its corporate tax rate from 12.5% to 15% for large multinational companies. On the surface, that might not seem like a big jump, but for corporations saving billions, it changes everything. If tax advantages disappear, what's left to keep them in Ireland? Ireland's hidden debt problem. There's another ticking time bomb: debt. Ireland has one of the highest national debts per capita in the world. But because its GDP is artificially inflated by corporate profits, it doesn't look so bad on paper. The real danger? If corporate tax revenue drops, the government could struggle to pay off that debt. A shrinking economy, combined with high living costs, could push Ireland into another financial crisis. A repeat of 2008? We've seen this before. During the Celtic Tiger era, Ireland's economy boomed, until it all came crashing down in 2008. If global companies pack up and leave, history might repeat itself. The question is, can Ireland survive without the tax haven model, or is it heading for another economic disaster? The future of Ireland. So, here's where we stand. Ireland looks like an economic miracle, but beneath the surface, the cracks are growing. If global tax reforms take hold, will Ireland's economy stand strong, or will the foundation crumble? What do you think? Is Ireland's success built to last, or is it all an illusion? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into global economic mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and until next time.